Hello everyone, my name is Vaishakh and I am an educator on Unacademy. So if you want to be an educator on Unacademy and you want to immortalize your knowledge on this platform, then you can download the Unacademy Educator app and you can also be an educator like me. So let me introduce myself. I cleared IBPS PO mains examination, IBPS PO 2017 examination and got selected as a PO in Syndicate Bank. I also cleared IBPS Clerk 2017 and my state rank was 29. I also cleared the SBI PO mains 2017 exam, which happened this year. So in this video, I want to tell you about your approach. Mind you, this is not strategy video. I want to tell you the approach on how to prepare for the bank exams, and the video and here it will be completely based on the SBI PO mains exam, which happened in the month of June, and also the RBI grade B prelims exam, which happened just a few weeks back. So one very important thing you need to understand is, now that the IBPS RRB vacancies have come out, the IBPS PO vacancies have come out. It's going to come out. The PO has not come out, but then the RRB has come out. So the question paper, the questions that they are going to ask in the mains examination, the impact of the SBI PO exam which happened this year, the impact of that will definitely be visible in the IBPS RRB question paper. Okay. Now, so how should your preparation be? See, after your preparation, like when your preparation is complete and when you are going for the exam, one very important thing you need to understand it. Your mentality should be such that, see, that whatever exam that you give, it should be like, if the exam is difficult for me, I feel that if the exam is difficult for me, then it will be difficult for others also. You need to keep this mentality. You need to have this mentality. You need to develop this. Okay. Now, let me give you an example. Let's say there are two candidates who are preparing for bank exams. One is candidate A and one is candidate B. Okay, so candidate A is he's solving questions, he is doing mock tests, and he is working very hard. Okay, and same but he's following one particular source. But candidate B is also doing the same thing. He's also practicing mock tests. He's also doing a lot of practice, hard work, and stuff. But then he's doing it from another source. But when the main exam comes and when the results of the main exam come out, the person who scored, the candidate B, he manages to clear the exam, but person A, the candidate A, he doesn't clear the exam. Okay, so what is the difference here? As I have told you, they follow different sources. So no matter how much hard work you do or how much practice you do, you need to follow the right kind of questions. If you don't do that, clearing the exam in the present scenario is very, very, very difficult. Okay. Now, so let me tell you the source first. Now, see, there are a lot of magazines outside which are available in the market, like Kiran Publication is there, BSc, all those magazines are there. I found none of them good, absolutely none. Okay, not even a single book is good. The only mock test that I recommend, which is good and which will give you good practice, is practice mock. That is the only mock test which is good. And by giving practice mock tests only, I cleared IBPS PO. I also cleared the SBI PO mains exam. So practice mock tests are the best in the market. The questions are very, very difficult. I know that you will get very less marks. Okay, let me give you my example also, so that you will understand what I'm talking about. Whenever I was attempting practice mock tests, I would get marks around say 70. Sorry, not 70. I would get around 60s, 62. Then it would go sometimes as low as 59, 57 also. So you would get demotivated, obviously. But what my recommendation is, don't get demotivated. Okay. If it is very difficult in the mock test, because that is what it's meant to be, that is the purpose of the mock test. It is supposed to be more difficult than the main examination. So if it is difficult in the mock test, don't be demoralized. Analyze the paper. Okay, analyze the solution and understand where your mistakes are. And if you're seeing any new type of questions in practice mock or in the mock test that you're doing, please do solve that question. Try to understand the technique. Okay. Now, after that, yes, be aware of the pattern. Okay. Now, in SBI PO 2017, the mains exam which happened this year, the pattern was completely different. Okay, there was no change in the number of questions or the marks allotted as such. There was no change over there. But the questions that were asked were completely new, particularly for reasoning section. Okay, all new types of questions were asked. Okay, now see, the mains exam results have already come out and some 6,300 candidates got selected. Let me tell you, and even I also got selected, by the way. So I didn't see these questions in my life, ever in my life. Okay, not even those 6,300 candidates. I'm sure they also didn't see those kinds of questions. But still, many of them were able to do it. Why? It's because of presence of mind. And also, as I said, it's because of that mentality that if the exam is difficult for me, it will also be difficult for everyone. See, if you get any new type of question in the exam, please do not panic, because whenever they are introducing a new pattern, they will not make it difficult. They will never ever make it difficult. Okay, so you need to understand that. So spend some time on the new question. Try to understand the question that is given. Don't just see, like, if you are seeing a weird box or a table or something, you can see, okay, I have not practiced this question, okay, I'll skip it. Don't do that. Read the question, try to understand it, and move on. Okay. Now, many of you have given SBI PO exam, mains exam. Some of you couldn't clear prelims also, and you couldn't give the exam. But how do you make yourself aware of the pattern? There are many channels on YouTube which you can utilize to know the pattern. See, whenever any exam gets over, let's say BOB, the Bank of Baroda exam got over very recently. So they update all the questions over there, all the new types of questions that they are going to that will come in that have already been asked in BOB. So from there you should be able to understand the types of questions that are being asked. So please subscribe yourself to those channels and please view those videos positively. Okay, you will understand the pattern and the difficulty level of the paper, and make sure that even IBPS PO will also follow the difficulty level. That's not the same difficulty level, but slightly lesser difficulty. Okay. Now, let me tell you what happened in SBI mains exam and RBI prelims exam this year. See, as I said, SBI, the reasoning section was very difficult. It was completely new for everyone. Okay, and many students could solve the questions. In reasoning, they hardly attempted out of I don't remember how many questions were there. I think there was 35. I think okay, I don't remember. But out of those questions, they did somewhat like around 8 or 9 they did. Okay, but I was able to do somewhat close to 14 or 15, I think. Okay, I also don't remember. It was somewhat around 14 to 15. Okay, many of them did close to 8. Most of them did close to 8 because it was very difficult. It was very new, and the people who scored who solved only 8 questions, for them what they did, they just saw the new types of question, and then they saw that, okay, I won't be able to do this, I don't know how to solve this question, and they discard that question and then they go to another familiar question. But I solved some unknown questions in the exam, and trust me, the questions were actually very easy. You just need to apply some concept, that's it. It was actually very easy. So don't panic in the examination. Again, as I said, keep that mentality in mind. Okay, that difficulty level, you need to keep that in mind. Okay. As for RBI exams also, it was pretty much okay. So let me just give you an understanding of the RBI cutoff, since the SBI has not released its cutoff, the mains cutoff. I'll just give you an understanding of the RBI cutoff. For general awareness, there were 80 questions. Okay, and the cutoff for prelims was 16.50. Okay, very reasonable cutoff. The general awareness section was very easy, and most of the candidates who cleared this exam, they cleared because of this general awareness section. Many of them scored 50. Like 50 out of 80, some of them scored 60 also. Okay, so those are like extremely brilliant students, but then I was not good at general awareness. Okay, I couldn't remember things very well, so I got 35 and I attempted somewhat 53 questions. Okay, next reasoning section, out of 60 marks the cutoff was 11. Okay, now reasoning was pretty easy, it was pretty much okay. All the familiar questions were asked. They didn't ask any high level or any new type of question in reasoning section like they asked in SBI PO. But out of 60, I got 25.25 and I attempted 34 questions. Okay, in English, the cutoff for general was 6.75. By the way, all these cutoffs are for general only. Okay, so the cutoff was 6.75 out of 30, and my score was 19.5, and I attempted 27 questions. So out of 27, I got 19.5. Now, quantitative aptitude. This was a big challenge for everyone. The cutoff was 4 out of 30. The cutoff was 4 out of 30, and I got 14.75, and I attempted 18 questions. Okay, my total score was 94.5, and I attempted close to 132 questions. And the overall cutoff for general category was 78. Okay, 78. So how many students got selected, you may ask? They selected around 3,300 candidates. So imagine, 3,300 candidates were able to score 78 and above. So that's a pretty low cutoff. And last year the cutoff was some 98.5 or something. But this year the cutoff is 78. Okay. So think about the difficulty level. The pattern has completely changed. So there is no point in looking at previous year's question paper. No point in doing all those stuff. Okay. Just solve mock tests. Just solve practice mock tests. Okay. Even Olive Board was also good for some time. Actually, let me tell you what happened with Olive Board. I was giving these practice mock tests, and I found that the questions was very difficult. Okay, and I got demotivated. So what I did, I paid some money to Olive Board, and I bought their mock tests. Okay, now when I purchased their mock test, it was not easy, but then it was not very difficult also. Okay, I was getting slightly higher marks. Okay, but then the questions were all familiar. Okay, I couldn't identify any new type of question. Everything was familiar to me. Okay, so I didn't give much importance to Olive Board. I started giving more focus on practice mock. Okay, and those candidates who did practice mock test, you can ask any candidate. If you know anyone who cleared SBI PO mains exam, they will tell you that it is only practice mock test which is good. Some of them did used Olive Board and then did clear, but then I attempted 92 questions. Okay, and some of the other candidates who cleared, they could attempt only around 60 or 65 questions. Okay, now you can see the difference. Okay, I attempted 92 questions. Okay, anyway, so moving on. Now, let me tell you how you should prepare for these exams. So first is your general awareness. Okay, see, general awareness, many people, they focus on current affairs. 3 months current affairs, they just mug up and then they go and give the exam. Okay, many of them did that same thing in SBIP also, but then they were in for a problem. Majority of the questions were asked from the banking section. Banking current affairs, banking static. Okay, all banking related questions they asked. Even PCA, CAP, full form they asked. They asked many other questions they asked. Okay, so you need to focus on banking, mostly focus on banking. Okay, I'm not saying avoid current affairs or don't study it, but then don't give much importance. Now let me tell you how I was able to predict this. See, before SBI PO mains exam, there was Bank of Baroda exam. Okay, as I have already told you that there are some YouTube channels which post the reviews for the exam. So there I went through the general awareness questions. I saw that majority of the questions were from banking awareness only and very few from current affairs. So I thought that in SBI PO also they will be doing that same thing, and my prediction was absolutely correct. Okay, so that is what you need to do. That is why I said you need to be aware of the pattern. I had already told you initially. Okay, yes, try to predict the questions that they may ask in the exam. Okay, see what, let me tell you what I did. You might have heard about NPCI, okay, National Payments Corporation of India. So in NPCI you have this Wikipedia page. Okay, in the Wikipedia page of on NPCI, you will find multiple links over there. That is on USSD, UPI, BMAP. Then there is one institute in Hyderabad. I don't remember that. What's the name of that institute? It's based in Hyderabad, and this is the institute which actually develops all these apps and systems and all. Okay. Now I knew that institute, they had never asked in any exam. I was 100% sure that they will be asking it in SBI PO, and yes, definitely they asked in SBI PO this year. So that is what you need to predict the questions. Okay, whichever that you feel is important, you need to learn it. So use Wikipedia as much as possible. You can also use the Bankers Adda capsule and all. Okay, you can also use a Lucent book and all, but please follow Wikipedia. Okay, search all the links, all the connecting links you need to open. You need to open in all tabs in your browser, and one by one you need to note down all the points. Okay, make sure you note down all the points in a Word document, and whatever questions that you face in the mock test, and if you feel that you didn't study it or it's not there in your material, you need to note it down. Okay. Yeah. So that's it about general awareness. So again, try to score above 20. Okay, if it's out of 40, then try to score above 20. Anyway, so but then general awareness, if you focus on banking, it won't be very difficult. Okay, that's it. Reasoning section. Okay, one of the biggest challenges that was there in SBI PO exam. Reasoning section, as I said, you will face many new types of questions in the exam. Okay, but then don't panic. Okay, don't panic, please. You need to at least read the question, try to understand it. If you can't understand it, move on. But if you do understand it, please do attempt that question. They will be very, very easy. And also, and this was the biggest trick that SBI played on the candidates, that all these easy questions, all these new types of questions were of 2 marks. Okay, so if you could do these questions, you could easily get at least 4 marks. Easily. Within 5 minutes, you could get 4 marks. And all the familiar questions that were there, they were of very high level, very, very difficult level. Okay, so that's why if you see any new type of question, please do not ignore. Try to understand it and then do those questions. And yes, another very important thing, please do give importance to statement, assumption and conclusion based questions. Why? See, the people who set the question paper, they will never experiment with these kinds of questions. That is a statement, assumption, conclusion. Whatever pattern that they had followed 2, 3 years, 4 years back, that same pattern is being followed right now. Okay, so they won't experiment anything over here. But then, very important is you need to learn to read quickly and learn to grasp the information. Okay, that is very, very important. You need to do that, and that comes only with practice. Okay, and practice mock test, as I've told you, it is very good. You can do those kinds of questions, you will find it that mock test, I'm 100% sure. If you solve those and if you are able to understand the solution, well and good, you will be able to do it in the exam. That is my 100% guarantee. Okay, again, you need to practice and you need to analyze. Okay, alright, moving on. English section. Okay, see, I think a few months back I made a course. It was on how to I told you some tricks. You can find it on Unacademy. I told you some tricks on how to tackle comprehension section very quickly. Okay, so there were some tricks and strategies over there. But the sad truth is, those tricks and strategies which I told you in that video, you cannot apply it in mains. I don't know, they might have understood the tactics of the candidate. I don't know, the people who set the question paper, but then you cannot use those. Okay, so you need to improve your reading speed. That is very, very important. You need to improve your reading speed. So how do you improve it? Please read Hindu editorials, read one paragraph quickly, and then try to understand. You try to predict what is that paragraph trying to say. Okay, then read that paragraph slowly. Okay, and then match what you have guessed. Okay, if it is correct, very good, then move on. Okay, so like that only, you need to slowly, it will only improve slowly. Okay, you cannot increase your reading speed in 1 week or even 2 weeks also. It will take you a period of at least 1 month. Okay, but then constant practice, reading habit, you need to have that, you need to develop that habit. Okay, then yeah, another thing, again let me tell you the difficulty level of English paper which was asked in RBI grade B. See, usually for me in the RBI grade B prelims exam, I finish the English paper in less than 15 minutes. Okay, say 14 to 15 minutes I finish off the English paper. There are 30 questions. I am able to do at least 27 questions in 15 minutes. But when I gave the prelims exam, the original exam, when I gave in the exam hall, it took me half an hour to finish English. In the mock test it would take me 14 minutes, but in the exam it took me at least half an hour. Okay, so reading speed you need to improve. Okay, next, quantitative aptitude. Yes, the huge googly that SBI PO played on the candidates, the googly ball that they gave. Now, I don't understand, I still couldn't understand why candidates say that the quantitative aptitude section of RBI prelims and SBI PO was very, very difficult. See, let me tell you, I could do close to 18 questions, but many of the candidates got rejected in RBI prelims exam just because they couldn't clear the sectional cutoff for quantitative aptitude. They could do hardly 2 or 3 questions out of 30. Now, I never found it so difficult. Okay? So, how do you tackle this? Please don't skip the miscellaneous section. Okay? Please don't skip the miscellaneous section. Also, I'm not sure whether you have given RBI grade B or SBI PO, but at least if you couldn't clear it in, if you couldn't, if you found the quantitative aptitude section in SBI PO very difficult, at least you should have understood the pattern from there, and then you should have expected that in RBI grade B. If you have done that, well and good, then I'm sure that you must have cleared the exam. But then if you didn't do that, again, understand that is your mistake. That you didn't try to predict the question. You didn't understand the pattern of the question. Okay, so don't skip miscellaneous based questions. Miscellaneous I mean by miscellaneous, you have time and work, time, speed, distance. Then you have simple interest, compound interest, pipes and cisterns. Okay, then you have probability, boats and streams. Okay, these kinds of questions. So please don't skip this. If your concept is clear, that data interpretation question is very, very easy. In SBI PO, they ask time and work, they ask boats and streams. Okay, both these questions, I'm also telling you that I also saw those questions for the first time only, but still I was able to solve them with 100% accuracy. I was very, very confident of the answers that I marked. Okay, so please don't reject these sections, because again, the persons who set the paper, they have understood that what are the chapters that we candidates focus on. We focus on simplification approximation, we focus on quadratic equation, we focus on number series. Okay, then we focus on those inequality, that quantity 1 greater than quantity 2, those kinds of questions. We focus on all these types of questions. Data sufficiency. Okay, again in reasoning, data sufficiency is also very, very important. I actually forgot to tell you, but then data sufficiency was very, very easy, but then many candidates seeing that the length of the question, they skipped that. Okay, so these are the questions that we generally practice. Okay, but then what SBI did, they give 3 DI questions, 5 questions, that is 15 marks, 15, like close to I think I don't remember how many marks, but at least 15 questions were from DI. Okay, and since we skip all these miscellaneous questions, they thought that okay, we'll club DI with miscellaneous. Students anyway solve DI. Now let me mix the DI with miscellaneous questions, and then now see what hangama will happen. Okay. So please don't skip the miscellaneous section. Okay. Practice it. Understand the concept. If you understand it, if you solve sufficient number of questions, you will definitely be able to crack the DI section. I am guaranteeing you this. Okay. Next, another thing. Geometry. They have started to ask in SBI PO. In SBI PO, they asked some few questions. Again, it was pretty easy. If you practice geometry, it was pretty easy. It was not very difficult. But please do practice geometry. You will be able to do at least 4 or 5 questions. Okay, they are very easy if you understand the concept. So I think that's it for quantitative aptitude, English, reasoning, general awareness. I think that's it. I think that's all that I wanted to cover. Okay, so please do practice, and practice from the right source. Use the right material. Okay, analyze the mock test that you are giving. Okay, and please be aware of the pattern that is being asked. These 3 points you need to keep in mind. Okay, and I think that's it. I'll conclude my video now. Hope you have enjoyed it. So good night.